Good morning, USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Envy.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Tuesday.
Yes, it's Tuesday.
Absolutely is National Sneakers Day.
Okay.
That's your day, Envy. You got a bad sneaker habit?
Not anymore. Not really.
Yeah, me neither, man. I just got a bunch of sneakers at the crib that I actually need to just like give to Goodwill or something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm participating. I'm wearing sneakers.
Yeah, just throw in a box and give them away. Because I'm not smart enough to know what's worth what and what's not worth what. Now I don't got time to do the research.
Oh, you should definitely do that because you got a couple of pair that's worth a couple of $1,000.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. But if you give them to Goodwill, you get that blessing back later on somewhere down the line in life.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might have herpes living in you dormant and it might not ever get active if you pay it forward.
Okay, that's a good way to think about it.
Yes.
All right. Jeesh. Well, good morning, guys. How was everybody's yesterday?
Good
what
morning.
you guys do?
I was in San Francisco. I landed at like 1 o'clock this morning, so I've been going.
Oh,
But-
how was San Francisco?
It was good. Shout out to everybody at Black Enterprise. I was moderating a panel for Tech Connect called DigiFem. So Amber Grimes from Spotify and Aaliyah Janelle Young were on that panel as well.
Okay. What about you, Charlamagne? What you do yesterday? Anything?
Bro, I don't even remember yesterday, man. I'm going to be honest with you. That's how I know I'm getting old. I don't what happened. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Monday?
Monday.
The only thing I can remember from yesterday is like, outside of like the kids and the wife I saw Meet the Mackies last night.
Okay.
And first of all, Remy Ma is so damn funny, man.
Why, man?
Remy Ma just need to be on everybody's TV screen, everybody's radio, everybody's podcast.
What she do?
It's just her regular, normal self.
That's always Remy.
She talking to her mom last night on the show, and she just tells her mom, "Are you dumb?" Who
Really?
says, "Are you dumb?" to their mother?
My goodness. Goodness gracious, Remy. I love Rem. Shout to Rem. Shout to Papoose.
I like Meet the Mackies too. I like that show.
Now, last night I was watching the Yankees game. The Yankees got blown away, like 16-1 bad. But you don't
Wow.
watch baseball, but it was pretty bad. Pretty bad for the New York Yankees. But they play again tonight. I'm going to the game. I'm taking my pops and my son.
16
You
to
might
1.
be bad luck.
Nah, I didn't go last night.
Oh, okay.
I watched it from the crib. I'm gonna go tonight and take my pops.
16 to 1.
Yeah, 16-1.
Dropping the clues bombs for the Boston Red Sox. They must be on that old school steroids.
I
Okay,
don't
those
know.
are old school steroid scores.
That can't happen again.
Was the one a home run or?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody knows baseball was better when everybody was on steroids. I would have watched that game. That sounded exciting. 16 to 1. That means there was action going.
Well, batting's been real good this year.
What is batting?
Hitting.
Oh,
Home runs.
Okay.
Offense has been pretty good this year.
right.
So anyway,
Not for the Yankees.
I'm going to the game tonight. Usually for the Yankees, but I'm going to the
Not
night.
last night.
CC Sabathia's pitcher, so I'm going to go see CC Sabathia win tonight. Now, this morning, we got from Black Lightning, Cress Williams joining us.
Yes, because Black Lightning Season 2 premieres tonight on the CW.
Isn't Erica Alexander joining the cast now? I saw that.
That'd be interesting because he used to play Scooter on Living Single, which I didn't know.
Yep.
It didn't connect with me. It didn't click with me until yesterday. I was like, oh, shoot, that is Scooter from Living Single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll kick it with him in a little bit. And we got front page news. What we talking about, Yee?
Well, Donald Trump wants Chicago to do stop and frisk policies now.
Okay.
Talk about that.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, last night in Monday Night Football, the New Orleans Saints beat the Redskins 43-19. Now, this game is so great because my division sucks, all right? The Eagles suck. The Cowboys suck. The Redskins are halfway decent, and the Giants suck. So I'm only one game away from being in second place.
Well, I ain't watching football. So I don't know what you're talking about. As a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm standing with Cap.
Now you standing
I'm with Cap.
And the Yankees lost last night 16-1. They play tonight. CC's on the mound. All right, what else we talking about, Yee?
Well, Donald Trump is urging Chicago to adopt stop and frisk policies. He said, I have directed the Attorney General's office to immediately go to the great city of Chicago to help straighten out the terrible shooting wave. I'm going to straighten it out and straighten it out fast. He wants the feds to work with the local authorities to try to change the terrible deal the city of Chicago entered in with ACLU and to strongly consider stop and frisk. He said it works and it was meant for problems like Chicago. It was meant for its stop and frisk.
Well, stop and frisk would absolutely increase racial profiling because they would target poor and disenfranchised areas, which are heavily populated by black and brown people. But it has to be some productive way to combat gang crime and gun violence in Chicago. So my question is, did NYC get safer after the stop and frisk policy?
It actually did not.
No.
Now, the NYPD did use stop and frisk, and he accredited that to Rudy Giuliani. A judge did rule that it discriminated against minorities, which it did, because you could get stopped as a black person. We're getting stopped so much more frequently than white people, and then a small thing like having a bag of weed on you might land you in prison, and then you have to sit there until you can get bail or not. And
so the city
then you
didn't
have a record.
So the city didn't get safer?
They said no.
They actually reduced when they reduced the use of stop and frisk, then the crime dropped even more after they stopped doing stop and frisk.
So I mean, there's no way to see if stop and frisk works then. If you tested it on a huge city like New York, the biggest city in America, and it didn't work, why would you implement that somewhere else?
It makes no sense. Crime actually dropped when they stopped using stop and frisk. All right, now in addition to that, Donald Trump apologized to Brett Kavanaugh during his confirmation. Here's what he had to say.
On behalf of our nation, I want to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family for the terrible pain and suffering you have been forced to endure. Those who step forward to serve our country deserve a fair evaluation, not a campaign of political and personal destruction based on lies and deception. Our country, a man or a woman, must always be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. And with that, I must state that you, sir, were proven innocent.
I saw people mad at that, but I mean, if you believe Kavanaugh didn't do it, then he deserves an apology.
Well, he wasn't proven innocent. They just couldn't prove that he did it. So we just don't know. We don't know if he did it or not. They didn't prove that she. They didn't prove that she was lying.
Yeah, but I mean, he was technically in whatever that court was or whatever.
But he wasn't in court. Innocent. It was just really a job interview. It wasn't a trial.
But they investigated it.
Yeah, they investigated it.
Yeah, but people had problems with the FBI investigation because there were a lot of witnesses that could have come forward that they didn't investigate.
So this whole
thing wasn't a trial that you're guilty or innocent. This is just basically an interview.
Well, they clearly investigated. In their mind, they found like he didn't do anything. So if you believe Kavanaugh didn't do it, then he deserves an apology. If you believe he did do it, then you feel like an apology was inappropriate.
Right. I can't say that he was proven innocent, though. This wasn't in a court of law where you were proven anything. It's just, we don't know. We'll never really know what happened.
Clearly, he was proven innocent in whatever that court was or whatever that
was. It was investigated.
It was investigated.
It was investigated.
Yeah.
All right. And in Flint, here's good news. They're getting safe water fountains thanks to Elon Musk. The Musk Foundation is donating money to install new water fountains with filtration systems at all of the schools. So that's a great thing, a positive thing that happened.
Yes, it is. Drop on the clues bomb for Elon Musk right after you scare everybody in L.A. again. Why do people keep falling for that? Every time SpaceX launches something, it's some R&B star recording it in the sky saying, "What is that? What is that?" This happens every few months. Elon Musk is launching rockets from SpaceX every few months, and we fall for the same trick over and over. It's like Kanye's MAGA hat at this point.
My goodness.
Like, come on.
Oh, and I just want to say that limo that crashed a day ago, that 20 people were killed, they said that car didn't have the right inspection and the driver didn't have the right license to be driving that limo. So, again, rest in peace to anybody who lost anybody in that crash. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And they're getting more and more details about who owned it and more details about the car. It's just very, very crazy. So if you do have to take a limo, they're saying no matter what it is, whether it's prom, whether it's wedding, whether it's going out, do your homework, because some of these cars are not even registered. They're not licensed right. So just definitely do your homework. All right, well, that's front page news. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. Maybe you had a bad night, a horrible morning. You just need to get some things off your chest. Hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, y'all. It's Salem. Good morning.
Hey, Salem. Get it off your chest, mama.
Salem.
Hey, boo.
What's up, babe?
I'm actually blessed. Like, I haven't been stressing. I've been working on my mind, my body, my soul, and
nice.
The single is immaculate. And I just wanted to say I'm just blessed.
All right, mama. Okay. Well,
you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
You have a wonderful day, too.
All right, Salem.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is James from Atlanta. How you doing, Envy?
James, what's up, brother? Get it off your chest.
Man, I'm having a great day. Excited to start this work week. I was off yesterday for that dude who stole the country, so I'm glad to get to work this week. Blessed to have a wonderful wife and wonderful children, man. ready to start this great week.
That's actually the only thing Christopher Columbus is really good for.
What's
by
that?
The way. The fact that some people got the day off yesterday.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's up? This is Spike G, 1000.
What's
Oh
up,
my
bro?
God! Whenever somebody ends their name with a number, you know it's about to be stupid.
Nah, it ain't about to be stupid. But your girl looks stupid with her big ass nugget head.
See what I'm saying?
What girl? Who's this girl?
What's her name? Hasana? His wife, man.
My wife's name is not Hasana,
Yeah,
sir.
who is that?
Yes, it is Hasana, bro, because you said it last time on one of your shows. What you talking about?
His wife's name is not Hassana.
Yes,
His
you
wife's
know what?
middle
You're right.
name
You're
is
right. You're right.
Hasana. I don't know what
You're
he
right.
told y'all the first name is, but her middle name is Hasana.
Yes,
okay.
opinions are more opinions.
Now,
Yes,
can
you're
I
right.
tell you why I'm mad?
No.
Go ahead, bro. Goody bag gang.
All right, yo, I'm mad right now because this chick Cardi B is winning, and she sound like she got a fur ball in her throat.
Oh, stop
How y'all gonna
hating,
let her
sir.
win?
You know we don't allow Cardi B slander.
Damn, you hating. I can't.
Hey,
I
y'all
can't do it.
Cardi B born days in 2 days too. You know those Atlantic paychecks don't allow us to let people call up and slander Cardi B, sir.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Corvette from Jersey.
Hey, Corvette, vroom vroom.
Oh my
I
God,
don't
that
know
was
why I did
corny.
that.
That was
Wow.
so corny.
You want to be
guys.
Missy Elliott so bad.
I don't know why I did that.
I just wanted to call to tell y'all that I'm very blessed. I'm actually on my morning route for work, and I absolutely love y'all. Charlamagne, I pre-ordered your book too.
Thank you, baby. It'll be out October 23rd. Appreciate you.
I know. Thank you. I love y'all.
All right, yeah.
Oh my God.
Bye.
What's wrong with you, man?
I don't know. Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up? This is J-Rod, man, from Gary, Indiana, man.
What's
The
up?
home of Michael Jackson and Freddie Gibbs.
What's up, bro? Get it off
Hey,
your
you
chest.
already know. Shout out to Freddie Gibbs, too, man, and rest in peace, Michael Jackson. Hey, Charlamagne, what's up, man? I just want to give a shout-out to you, man. Everybody don't like a-holes, but I'm one that really root for you, dog.
You really like a-holes?
All right.
Myself, man.
You love a-holes, huh?
I appreciate you for loving the a-holes,
Hey,
brother.
Up, Envy. I ain't mean to say it like Hey,
Whoa.
Envy, I was gonna say something good about you this morning, but
That's right. That for all that.
Person.
Man, try to play you.
Well, you keep loving the a-holes, brother. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Either you're mad or blessed. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
So if you got something on your mind, let it out.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, how you doing? It's Chris from Virginia.
Chris, what up? Get it off your chest, bro.
Hey, man, I just called to say that I'm blessed. Still got a promotion on my job. You know, finally, I've been doing this career for 24 years and finally made it where I wanted to be and woke up this morning blessed and that I'm able to listen to y'all every day, that y'all are okay and your families are okay. So it's a good blessing all the way around.
All right. Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Hello, who's this?
This is Mark from Houston, Texas.
Hey, what's up, bro? Get it off your chest.
All right, so y'all were talking about earlier about Brett Kavanaugh.
Yes.
So I was totally wrong. They had 40 people that wanted to talk to the FBI, but they only investigated 4 people, and they didn't interview Brett Kavanaugh or Dr. Ralphie Ford. And it was a job interview. And the way he acted against Congress, and again, this is the Supreme Court. He's supposed to be unbiased. The way he acted, I don't think that's what Supreme Court judges need to do.
Right. A lot of people had a problem with the investigation, saying it wasn't very thorough at all. They were just trying to rush through it to get to the confirmation.
Nah, it wasn't. That's the thing. Like, I mean, this lady, she said it in the beginning, like, you know, I don't want to come.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really can't hear you. It sounds like you got your phone in a red cup talking through the phone.
Yeah, my bad. Hold on. All right.
Now you want to talk to us in the right tone?
Yeah. So, yeah, man, on that case, it's like, for me, as a male, and if I ever have kids, I can't have these politicians, my son's looking up to these politicians. They're crooked. They're so crooked.
Duh.
Yeah, my son's not gonna look up to a politician anyway. But thank you for calling. Hello, who's this?
This Ricky.
Ricky, get it off your chest.
The reason why I'm mad at Donald Trump because I think he's full of ish. When it comes to black men, you know what I'm saying, he want to say they're guilty. When it came to the Central Park Fire, he said they was guilty before they even had a trial. But when it comes to Kavanaugh, he's innocent. Then on top of that, he accused Obama of being not from the United States. So I think he's full of ish.
Oh, we already know he is.
I mean, y'all really calling up here stating the obvious this morning.
He must have just felt that.
Oh, you must have just got out.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, bro? Get it off your chest.
What's up? I'm from Miami. I just got nothing bad to get off my chest. All about good news, good energy in the morning. You know, blessed to you guys, Angela Yee, Charlamagne, you DJ Envy. doing the great work and all that good stuff. But, you know, I'm just going to work. My wife got the business, you know, Beauty Barlette. So, Angela, if you ever want to come to Miami and get beat up, you can always check out Beauty Barlette on Instagram.
All right.
Other than that, I got 3 beautiful kids. You know, life is good. I'm a nurse. Going to work, pay some lodges, all that good stuff.
We need to translate that for the white people that may be listening. You said if Angela Yee ever wants to come to Miami and get beat up, you know, that is slang for getting your face beat, meaning getting your makeup put on.
Yeah,
right?
I guess if you don't know what that means, it can sound alarming.
Yeah, some of them do. We watch people on this TV show. So when you get beat up, you know it's always about makeup. But
yeah, but you know, it's a lot of slang impaired people out there. The culturally clueless amongst us.
I got you. So not beat up, but if you ever want your face to get beautified,
there you go.
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you for calling, brother.
White people are like, oh my God, the guy invited Angela to come to Miami and get beat up, and she gladly accepted.
Hello, who's this?
Yeah, hello, it's Amir.
What's up, bro? Get it off your chest, man.
All right, I just want to say, first of all, I'm thankful for just waking up this morning and being able to go to work. But also, man, I've been home 5 years. I'm 32 years old. I got locked up when I was younger, and, you know, I haven't been in trouble since. I started my fitness business. I had my ups and downs, but I never swayed my way up going back to the streets. And I just want to, people to hear that, no matter how hard it is or whatever you're going through in life.
Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, brother.
You have a good one.
You have a great one, too, sir.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now, we got rumors on the way?
Yes. I mean, since we discussed it, let's talk about Donald Trump some more. Guess who is going to the White House to visit him? Also, congratulations to this star who is going to be having his own late-night TV show.
All right. We'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Shout out to my homie D Paris. Today is his birthday. He turns 42.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. All right, now let's get to these rumors. Let's talk new late night show.
Listen up. This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, it looks like we might be seeing Nick Cannon on your TV screens on late night television. He has inked a deal. He's going to develop a series for Fox. They said it's untitled right now, and it will cover topical subjects like pop culture, commentary, celebrity interviews, music performances, and comedy acts as well.
Salute to Fox for not being afraid of Nick Cannon's head wraps. Okay, people like safe Nick Cannon. They don't like militant Nick Cannon. When he started talking all that Black Power stuff, they walked away. NBC did. So it's a beautiful thing to see Fox embrace what NBC couldn't handle.
Well, yeah, I'm glad. I'll definitely be supportive of that. They haven't announced a date for that talk show yet. Now, Kanye West is supposedly going to meet with Donald Trump and Jared Kushner at the White House at some point this week. So we don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but according to reports, that's going to go down sometime.
For what? They just having lunch, or what the hell's going on?
I have no idea.
Is there an agenda that's going to be put on the table?
Did he get back on social media yet, or is he still gone?
Oh, I don't know.
From all his accounts.
I think he's off.
All right. Yeah, I think he's off. Now, Donald Trump has some issues now with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift posted, and she's never voiced her own political agendas or any support that she's given to anybody, but now I guess she felt the need. She posted on Instagram, I'm writing this post about the upcoming midterm elections on November 6th, in which I'll be voting in the state of Tennessee. In the past, I've been reluctant to publicly voice my political opinions, but due to several events in my life and in the world in the past 2 years, I feel very differently about that now. And she goes on to support a Democrat. She's voting for 2 Democrats in that state, and she's also going against the Republican Marsha Blackburn, who's running for Senate there. Well, Donald Trump didn't like that at all, and here's what he had to say about Taylor Swift.
Marsha Blackburn is doing a very good job in Tennessee. She's leading now substantially, which she should. I'm sure Taylor Swift has nothing or doesn't know anything about her, and let's say that I like Taylor's music about 25% less now, okay?
25%
My God, you're
less.
so petty.
I think that's
So
crazy.
petty.
Now, be aware, though, if you are not registered to vote today, in some states is the last day to be able to register to vote. So make sure you
And
check on
15 states.
vote.org to see in your state when is the last day. But for 15 different states, yes, today is the last day for you to register. So make sure you go ahead and check that.
I wonder what Taylor Swift's political leanings were before this administration. I just assumed she was conservative, which is my fault for profiling, but I just assumed that. So I wonder what her political leanings were before this administration.
Well, all we know is that Instagram post did bring a spike in voter registration, according to vote.org. Yesterday, there were about 51,000 new registrations in the past 24 hours.
Wow.
And in the state of Tennessee alone, there were about 3,500 new registrations so far.
Never underestimate the power of mayonnaise.
Yeah, so that's a big deal that people are going to go out and now and register to vote just because of Taylor Swift saying what she has to say and putting that information out there. All right, Jim Jones has announced a new Diplomats album and release date as well. So if you guys are excited, it's going to be the follow-up to the Diplomats 2004 album, Diplomatic Immunity 2. All right, so they actually announced this at the A3C Festival.
I seen him shooting a video yesterday, too.
Yes, it's going to be coming out on Thanksgiving, and it's called Diplomatic Ties.
I'm here for that.
For all you guys. So Thanksgiving is on Thursday, November 22nd, and you can look out for that album.
I'm always here for anything that I grew up on. I will always support the artists from my era. Okay?
All right, and Post Malone has gotten his first acting role. He'll be joining Mark Wahlberg in a movie and Winston Duke from Black Panther as well. And it's going to be an adaptation of Robert B. Parker's Wonderland, and he'll be in that. So we'll get to see Post Malone on the big screen as well. So
I seen him taking some shots with Nas yesterday.
Oh, Post Malone?
Post Malone and Nas were together. I seen him taking shots.
Doesn't Post would have to cover up all his tattoos and everything to really act, right?
Depends what character he's playing.
Unless he's being super typecasted.
Yeah, it depends on the character.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Biker.
Definitely a biker.
Biker.
Definitely a biker with all those tattoos and some leather.
Well, congratulations to him. That's
Or
a great
clown.
first acting role to be alongside Mark
Could be a
Wahlberg.
clown.
I don't think he would play a clown.
And
He'd be a
Winston Duke.
clown.
No, I don't think,
I think Post Malone would make a great clown.
No.
It's going to be a Netflix film also, by the way.
Okay.
All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. What we talking about front page news, Yee?
Well, let's talk about Flint. Find out what's happening for schools in Flint thanks to Elon Musk.
All right, we'll get to that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, last night, Major League Baseball, the Yankees got blown away by the Boston Red Sox 16-1. But don't worry, Game 3 tonight. CeCe's on the mound. I'm taking my pops and my son tonight, so it should be a lot of fun. The Astros beat the Indians 11-3, and the Dodgers beat the Braves 6-2. Now, in Monday Night Football, the Saints beat the Redskins 43-19, which is great for me because my division sucks. So the Giants are like, what, 1-4, and we're in third place. So that's not bad.
Listen, man,
your
I'm
team
a
sucks,
Dallas
too.
Cowboy fan. My team is in that NFC East, but I'm not watching football. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're not watching football.
I'm standing with Cap.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What else are you talking about, Yee?
Hurricane Michael is taking aim now, so some counties in Florida have been ordered to evacuate. Also, there will be damaging winds across the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, and southeast Alabama as Michael is moving inland. So just giving y'all the heads up. If you're flying, traveling, make sure you check on all of that as well. Also in Flint, schools are getting safe water fountains. That's because of a $500,000 donation from Elon Musk. They are donating money to install new water fountains with filtration systems at all of the schools. Is it crazy they're still living with these issues in Flint?
Absolutely, it's crazy that they're still living with those issues, and it's crazy that Elon Musk keep launching those rockets from SpaceX in Los Angeles, and people keep falling for it every single time. Like every few months, there's some R&B singer with their camera in the sky talking about what is that in the sky. You should know what's in the sky by now. It's rockets from SpaceX.
All right, and Donald Trump has apologized to Brett Kavanaugh for sexual misconduct allegations. He apologized during Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation. Here's what he said.
On behalf of our nation, I want to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family for the terrible pain and suffering you have been forced to endure. Those who step forward to serve our country deserve a fair evaluation, not a campaign of political and personal destruction based on lies and deception. Our country, a man or a woman, must always be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. And with that, I must state that you, sir, were proven innocent.
Well, the only problem with that apology is you can't apologize for the whole nation because some people in the nation think Kavanaugh is guilty. If you believe Kavanaugh didn't do it, then he deserves an apology, okay? If you believe he did do it, then you feel like he doesn't deserve an apology.
I know a lot of people were upset with that apology just because they said it wasn't anything proven by this because it wasn't a trial. It was basically just an FBI investigation that they felt was flawed as well. All right, well, that is your front page news.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, when we come back, let's take your calls. 800-585-1051. Yesterday, my wife and I were talking about this. This meme was floating around, right? And the meme is, parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea someone hits you, you hit them back.
Oh, God.
You are part of the problem.
What's the problem?
Let's talk about it.
So it's my problem that your child is putting hands on my child, and then when my child defends himself, they part of the problem?
800.
Teaching my child to defend themselves is a problem.
585-1051.
So why do they have self-defense classes for kids? Why are kids in karate then?
Let's talk about it.
Why do kids learn how to box?
No,
what's the
I
point?
agree.
What's the point?
I agree.
What's the point? In karate, they teach you not to be the aggressor, but if somebody puts their hands on you, then you defend yourself. That's why they teach you these self-defense.
So let me ask you this. If a little girl hits your little boy, should he beat her up?
Well, we didn't say beat up.
I'm just asking, or should he hit her back, or I'm just asking.
Why you always got to go to the extreme of gender? You know we ain't talking about no damn gender.
No, but we're saying you're teaching your kids to hit somebody back if they hit you. Do you teach
Not
them
women.
All right, that's what I'm asking. I don't have kids. I'm asking a question.
Well, I tell my kids, if somebody hits them, you hit them back. If a boy hits you or pushes you, you hit them back. All right?
Yes.
I do tell them, but Logan went a little too far when he was a kid, and he would really hit these kids back. And the problem is when these kids push to hit Logan, Logan wouldn't cry. So Logan hit the kid back, the kid cries, and then Logan would get in trouble, and we would always stay in the principal's office. But I had to tell him that if you get hit once, tell a teacher. The second time, defend yourself.
No,
I had to tell him that because he would always get in trouble because, like I said, Logan plays football, a rough kid. You hit him, he's not crying.
Hey, it's the reason I put my 10-year-old daughter in Taekwondo early. Okay, All right, you gonna get a takedown. All right, I'm sorry.
And I tell the same thing with my daughter.
Kids keep their hands to themselves. How about everybody keep their hands to themselves? But in the event that some child does put their hand on my child knows how to defend himself.
And I agree with you.
And I don't see the problem.
And I really think, and this is going to sound crazy, I really think it reduces bullying. Because now, if you show your kid, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. You defend yourself. I remember teaching my daughter how to snap on the bus, like how to diss people on the bus. If people diss her, it reduced bullying. Like now, somebody hit her.
She need to come over here for that type of advice, okay? Her daddy don't know how to do no snaps.
But you know I would turn.
Tell her come over here if she needs some advice on how to hurt people's feelings verbally.
I'm like, your mama. That's how far I go. Your mama.
That's all you got.
I'm like, your mama drive a Toyota. I don't know. I couldn't think of that.
Wow, classism. Wow, yeah. Wow.
I know. That's all I could come with.
Disgusting.
That's all I could come with at the time.
Disgusting.
I know. But anyway, 800-585-1051.
Ain't nothing wrong with Toyotas.
Parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea someone hits you.
I don't even want to talk about
you
this.
hit them back.
Offended me because I grew up in a Corolla. I grew up in a Cressado.
So I had a Honda and a Toyota too. But I'm just saying.
I had a Camry.
Toyotas. Yeah,
but obviously it hurt your feelings, and that's what it was supposed to do. But 800-585-1051. Someone hits you. You hit them back. You are part of the problem. Do you agree? Call us now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, this was a conversation in my crib last night. This meme was going around, and the meme went like this. Parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea someone hits you, you hit them back. You are part of the problem.
See, I don't understand this logic. And the reason I don't understand this logic is because that's not how the world works. You know, we're always taught never be the aggressor by words or action, but in the event you are attacked, you should defend yourself. You know what I mean? And my daughter's 10 years old. She was taking Taekwondo very early on. I put her in Taekwondo because I want her to be able to defend herself. You put your hands on my daughter, she knows how to defend herself.
Now, I did the same thing with my kids. My daughter is in Taekwondo. My son is in Taekwondo. My son even went to boxing. And that was part of the thing. If somebody hits you, you hit them back. And especially because my kids are so small. Like, I have small kids. Logan is a small kid. So, and that's what happened. The only problem with that is when Logan wound up hitting these kids back, these kids would cry because Logan played football. He's rough. He boxed. He did karate.
So what?
So when these kids hit him, he didn't cry. But as soon as Logan hit the kid would cry, and all the principal or teachers would see with the kids crying. The local would get in trouble. So I had to change it a little bit and say the first time you get hit, you tell a teacher. Second time you defend yourself.
Don't let him marginalize himself, suppress his strength just because somebody don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. That's what happens in life. In life, you put your hands on somebody, you push somebody, they may punch you, and guess what? That punch may be Mike Tyson level.
Right.
And that's your fault. You may get hit by the next Canelo Alvarez and don't even know it.
Hey, what were you taught, Yee?
Of course we were taught if somebody hits you to hit them back, but also to let the teacher know so that it's not just a situation where you end up fighting all the time. So you got to let the teacher know. He hit me first.
Yeah, that's easier said than done.
Nah, my dad said the same thing. If y'all know Smack from Smack DVD, he does the
Hey, you gonna tell this goddamn Smack story again?
Yes.
Mike, this must have been the only fight any of you ever been in his life.
No, that's the only one where people would know. Smack hit me and I hit Smack back every single time. But it is what it was. That's what my dad taught me. Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
This is Brittany.
Hey, Bree. Good morning.
Hey.
What do you think about that statement?
I have to disagree. I have a daughter and a son that's in school, and they both know if anybody hits them, you hit them back. And if anybody has a problem with that, I'll fight kids too. You know.
You better not fight no kids.
Now, that's next level.
But I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I fight kids too because I don't allow that bullying. I have a son, and I tell him all the time, don't put your hands on no girl, but if somebody hits you, you hit them back.
Goddamn right.
Absolutely. And I even tell my son, if somebody puts their hands on my daughter, you got to defend.
You got to defend your dog. You got to defend your sister.
Thank you, Mama.
Exactly. That's what my son does. You welcome, no problem.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Carla from Carla's Kids.
Good morning. What do you think about that statement?
Envy, I agree with you. I think if someone is hitting you, you definitely need to hit them back or her back because it will reduce bullying.
Yeah,
if
damn
you don't,
right.
They're going to keep invading your space, and it will continue. It's hard because I'm an educator, and I also have 2 sons, but I definitely think you need to hit them back.
Yeah, because the thing at the end of the day, when it comes to bullying, bully's only going to keep doing what you allow them to do.
Yes, that's exactly right. So I just have to say, and as far as whether or not it's a girl or boy, a girl scratched the skin off my son's face when he was in 3rd grade. So I teach my son to not beat them up, but you can get them off you without really fighting them, but you can't let them invade your personal space. You have to hit them back.
Okay. Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day.
You too. Grace, good morning. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, there was a meme going around where somebody said, someone hits you, you hit them back. You are part of the problem, meaning that idea is part of the problem. What do you think?
I disagree. I would tell my kids to hit back. No one should be able to be put their hand on your face or anybody.
That's right.
Absolutely not.
I agree.
I told my kids, I'm a grandmother now, and I told my grandson the same thing. You don't hit first, but if somebody hits you, you hit them back.
All
and
right.
if you come home and you hit them back, then I'm going to hit you. Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad might have told me that once or twice.
Yeah, I don't understand this unrealistic way of thinking. And the one thing I tell my daughter, too, is, man, like, you know, don't worry about the consequences from school. Don't worry about what the teacher's going to say to you. Don't worry about what the principal's going to say to you. We got this. Don't worry about that.
I tell them the same.
You know what I'm saying? You will not get in trouble at home if somebody puts their hands on you and you defend yourself.
Not at all. And we've been to the principal many a times for this. But 800-585-1051. This meme was floating around yesterday, so let's talk about it. Parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea, someone hits you, you hit them back. You are a part of the problem. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Call us up now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. If you just joined us, this conversation comes from a meme that was floating around yesterday.
What's the meme, man?
Now, parents, please stop sending your kids to school with the idea, someone hits you, you hit them back. You are a part of the problem.
So they want your kids to grow up to be punks. They want your kids to grow up to be suckers who don't know how to defend themselves.
Now, I'm going to be honest, right? Growing up in Queens, it was more, of course, minorities, right? More black, more Spanish, more Latinos, Caribbean. And that was the mentality. Someone hits you, you hit them back. And if you don't hit back, when you get home, you fighting your pops. That's what it was.
Yeah.
When I moved out to Jersey, white people think a little differently. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like they tell first. Somebody hit you, go tell a teacher. Which I don't necessarily agree with. I think that kind of starts bullying.
I think they put that into the black kids' head in these rich white areas because they want us to be goddamn, marginalized and oppressed all the mother effing time. They want us to feel like victims all the time. If the white man hits you, you don't hit him back. All right, so I don't see color. I don't see color when it comes to that.
I wasn't going that
all right?
far.
I don't see color when it comes to defending yourself. If somebody puts their hands on you, regardless of race, you have every right to defend yourself.
Now, do you tell your kids to tell the teacher also?
Yeah, after you punched him in their mouth, then you go tell the teacher, he hit me, so I hit him back.
Yes, I mean, they have to hit first because they can't go tell the teacher and then hit, then it looks like he, planned it. But, yeah, I tell them to tell the teacher. But I tell them if somebody hits you, the first time you let it go, the second time you hit back. That's what I tell the older kids.
And
young kids,
man, and by the way,
you got too much trouble for that.
If you get hit, if a kid hits you, and then your first inclination is to go and tell the teacher, you fooled. You fool for the rest of your school career until you bust somebody's head in the hallway.
See, the problem with me was Logan. A kid had hit him. The kid wouldn't cry. Logan plays football, so he doesn't cry. So he's gonna hit the kid back. The kid cries.
Goddamn right.
And now Logan's in the principal's office because the kid's crying on the floor.
That's what them little white kids in your rich town get for hitting on a Dominican. All right, that little Dominican boy can fight.
He's not Dominican.
All right?
Man.
Okay.
You know what? Forget you. Hello, who's this?
It's Jeff from Jersey.
Jeff, what do you think, Jeff?
I said the same thing like you say, MV. Tell the teacher the first time, the second time, hit him back.
See, ain't nobody telling no teacher. Ain't nobody got time for that when you get punched in the face.
I only did that because Logan would always get in trouble. And this is going to sound crazy, one of the few black kids in the school, we were always in the principal's office. So I said, just chill out, let him hit you first. And he does it again, knock his ass out. That's why I did that. But for the younger ones, it's the same thing. Somebody hit you, hit him back.
And the teacher ain't going to do nothing. The teacher going to treat that situation like she a cop. She don't feel like doing all that paperwork. All she going to do is tell the little boy, stop hitting people. Then what?
I grew up in Jamaica, and that's how I was raised. Somebody lick you lick them back. So I moved to America. I had kids. I tell my kids the same thing, except in a different dialect.
I don't know. Don't be telling these kids to lick each other in school. Now, that can go either way nowadays.
Hello, who's this?
All this fluidity going on.
Trina.
Hey, Trina, what do you think about the meme that was floating around yesterday?
I disagree with it because when my kids were smaller, I used to tell them if somebody hit them or do something to them, tell the teacher first. If she doesn't do anything, then you go ahead and defend yourself. Now, once they got older, I'm like, if somebody hits you, hit them back. Because sometimes, like you said, it's bullying, and they need to stand up for themselves. If you stand up to a bully, they'll quit, typically.
Hey, this telling the teacher first business is whack. All right.
No, but I did that Charlamagne, I did that when they were really, really small. Like, because I didn't want them fighting. Because I got a son that's like how Envy said his son was. He's in football, and he's very aggressive. He even had a fight with one of the teacher's kids one time. So I didn't want him to be in there doing that. But now it's like, since they're older, I'm like, well, if they hit you, you hit them back.
Yep.
Don't let nobody touch you. They ain't got no business being that close to your space. So if they hit you, hit them back, and that's just that. Of course, they're high schoolers now, so I don't want them to get locked up. But what you gonna do?
I told the older one, you got to defend your sisters, bro. I'm like, if I'm not there and something pop off, you defend your sisters. You got to make sure you defend them, make sure that they're safe.
When you the eldest Dominican around to hold down the rest of the family,
Dominican, man.
You got to hold it down.
We're not Dominican, man.
You can't prove it.
What's the moral of the story, man?
The moral of the story is never be the aggressor by word or action, but in the event you are attacked, defend yourself. Simple as that, kids. It ain't that serious. It's not like you looking for a fight.
I really think that will, limit bullying, because bullies will not get off. If you get punched in the face one time, you don't want to bully anymore.
That's a fact, because a bully is only going to keep doing what you allow him to do. Simple as that.
And I always think about the time where Charlamagne was bullying the Down syndrome kid. And then the Down syndrome.
He did not have Down syndrome.
What did he have?
He was a slow kid.
Charlamagne was bullying the slow kid.
And I wasn't bullying him. I was teasing him.
It's the same thing.
It was jokes.
And why did you stop?
Because he put me in a chokehold. That I felt like it was almost over. There would be no Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club.
See?
I saw my brief 16-year-old, 17-year-old life flash before my eyes in that moment.
Well, thank God the slow child did that, and that calmed your ass down, right?
Not really, but
But you left them alone.
I knew to leave slow kids alone. Anybody else could get it, all right? But that slow kid screams different.
You know what? We got rumors on the way.
Yes, we'll be talking about Kevin Hart. He was running the Chicago Marathon, and find out what he witnessed on his run.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's time for the rumors. Let's talk Kevin Hart.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee. Club.
So listen up.
So Kevin Hart was competing in the Chicago Marathon, and things got very real. Now, he said he wasn't too happy with his time. Check it out.
Marathon number 2 complete, man. I didn't get the time I wanted, but the weather was on my ass. It rained for the first 16 miles. But it didn't stop me. I ran 21 miles straight, broke down at mile 22. Felt like somebody was on the roof with a little thing called a cramp gun. Shot me in my ass. Feet froze up. Saw 2 older women on themselves. True story. One of them just came down the back of a leg. The other stopped in the grass and moved her shorts. That me up. But I made it. I ran with a purpose today. I'm about to send more kids to college. I'm going to double up on what I did.
Yes, you know, guys, runner's diarrhea is real.
Yep. You talk about it all the time.
Yeah, so when you run a marathon, it happens all the time. You can look it up online and see pictures of people actually winning the marathon.
So doodle just comes, just trickles out your butt?
Leg.
That's crazy.
Why wouldn't you poop beforehand, though, if you know that's going to happen?
And when you run 26 miles, it kind of like breaks down your insides while you're running, and that's why it happens. It's just scientifically is what can happen to you.
I don't even think human beings can do that. You can't just poop and keep moving.
Yes, you can.
You feel like
yes, they have.
Oh.
When you're trying to win a marathon, you can.
Ain't that serious, man?
But yeah, I mean, I don't think you can control that from happening. Like, you don't anticipate that. I'm sure everybody tries to go beforehand, but imagine running 26 miles. That's a long time.
How the hell Kevin Hart got time to run marathons?
He's training always.
And I'm telling you, man, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. You can say whatever you want about Kevin Hart. You can say he's not funny, but he will outwork your ass all day long.
And he's funny.
I think he's funny. But
all
I'm
right,
biased.
now, Bill Cosby.
I'm on his payroll now, too, allegedly. Yeah.
According to Radar Online, Bill Cosby in jail had some issues. He was trying to tell some jokes in prison, and somebody slapped him across the face with a chicken patty.
So, wait a minute. The first time he allegedly got slapped in the face with a hot dog.
Well, no, he did not get slapped. They said somebody threw a hot dog.
Oh, hit him in the face with a hot dog. And then this time a chicken patty?
Ain't none of this stuff true, man.
Oh, man.
It was a stale hot dog bun the first time is what they're saying, allegedly. Now they're saying that he cracked this joke and the inmate was mad enough to take his chicken out of the bun and plunge it at him.
Ain't none of this true. I don't believe any of this. Who told you this? What's the source? Cite
Radar
the source.
Online.
I don't believe that.
As I said. All right, Jermaine Dupri has postponed the launch of his tour.
Damn.
He said to all my fans, I know what I'm about to say is going to create a very, very big fire, but due to my schedule and creative changes, I don't feel comfortable starting this tour on the 14th. I honestly believe I need another week to get this to where I want it to be.
You gotta seal the deal with Bow Wow. Can't hit the road without Shady Moss.
Now, Bow said he's back in.
Yeah, he's back in, he's out, he's in, who knows?
Must be Bone Crusher then. Bone Crusher must be holding it up with contract negotiations.
All right, Vic Mensa, we told you about this earlier, about DJ Scheme upset about what Vic Mensa said during his freestyle cypher at the BET Hip Hop Awards about XXXTentacion. Now, DJ Scheme had tweeted out, yo, bro, how are you going to say your favorite rapper is an abuser and then follow it with a line saying some ish X, some ish so I won't live long? You can deny it, but everyone who was there heard that ish. Well, Vic Mensa went on Instagram to actually, I guess, try to give more clarity to what it was he was trying to do. Here's what he said.
Recently, I did a freestyle for the BET Awards cypher addressing and condemning rappers who unabashedly abuse women and those who stand up for them and even call them legends. I stand behind those statements. It was pre-recorded weeks ago, and I had no idea a grieving mother would be in the audience to honor her lost son. I never intended to disrespect her, and I offer my deepest condolences for her loss at the hands of gun violence. However, I vehemently reject the trend in hip-hop of championing abusers, and I will not hold my tongue about it.
I agree with the overall message. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we should denounce abusers and, people who commit violence against women. But, Vic, you have to address your own BS first, though. Because Vic Mensa admitted in a song that he choked out his girl. Here on The Breakfast Club, actually.
Yes, he did.
Well, he said it in a song, but we talked about it here on The Breakfast Club.
No, I'm talking about between me and her, how far it went. Yeah, I mean, I was just...
He choked her out in the song.
But that's the beginning of the story.
Okay.
That's
when you realize this is going...
Yeah, I mean, that's when I realized that, wow. But that was like maybe 2 years or something before we broke up. So in my album, I deal with a lot more of just like some crazy...
You got to admit your own BS first. You got to put yourself in that mix too, right?
Yeah, I would think so. And he did apologize for the fact that XXXTentacion's mother was in the audience. So that's poor timing on his part. All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Charlamagne.
Yes.
Who you giving that donkey to?
Oh, man. I suffer from parental paranoia because I am a father of 3. And I think that we should have some rational anxiety when it comes to being a parent. But this story right here is why I have that rational anxiety. And we'll talk about it 4 after the hour.
All right. We'll get into that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I was born a donkey. It's the donkey of the day.
Look at these donkeys. Bunch of jackasses. Yes, for the donkey of the day.
That's pretty funny.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possibly. The Breakfast Club.
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Tuesday, October 9th goes to a Long Island man named Russell Cohen. As a father of 3 beautiful girls, I suffer from the rational anxiety that I think comes with being a parent. I call it parental paranoia. Now, anyone who suffers from anxiety knows how irrational those fears and insecurities that come from suffering from anxiety can be. But being a parent, it's a lot of rational anxiety that comes with that. I call it rational anxiety because I know exactly why I'm anxious when it comes to my kids, because they're my kids, okay? And I want them to be safe at all times. And one of the main ways to ensure safety in America nowadays is to avoid crazy at all costs, okay? Crazy places, crazy situations, and most importantly, crazy people. But that is almost impossible nowadays because you just don't know who's crazy anymore. Okay, all the safe spaces that used to exist in this society, all the people we could count on to not be crazy are sometimes the craziest. For example, the church, not safe. Okay, crazy people come in there. Remember that bastard Dylan Roof? All right, police, some of them are crazy, and they think we crazy, so they scared. And that combination of scared and crazy with a gun leads to problems a lot of the time. Okay, Walmart. The holy grounds of Walmart used to be a safe space, but now it's no shortage of crazy in there. Someone may try to buy your kid for $200,000. In schools, the institution that we have to send our kids to for 8 hours a day. I already have the anxiety of potential school shootings, but the most anxiety comes from having to entrust our kids' safety to a bunch of adults that we hope we can count on, okay? A bunch of adults that we hope aren't crazy, but Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ, we know that's not the case. And that brings me to Russell Cohen, who is a 58-year-old driving instructor. Now, he's not a teacher per se, but he's an instructor at Suffolk's Auto Driving School. And on Saturday morning, he was driving and instructing 3 teens. And this happened. Let's go to CBS 2 New York for the report, please.
A mom and daughter are telling an incredible story about a driving instructor teaching Lila Mabanta over the weekend how to drive when the kids in the car, including Lila, realized that the driver, something was terribly wrong. You thought he was drunk, Lila, right?
Yeah.
Or high?
He was overly complimenting us, and he was acting really weird.
You say that he was driving erratically, actually hitting curbs?
Yeah, he hit a curb twice. We told him to take us to McDonald's as soon as he hit the curb so that we could get out as soon as possible.
And then you got out of that car and you called 911.
Yeah.
And Suffolk police have arrested Russell Cohen, 58 years old, a driving school instructor. That driving school was contracted with Suffolk Community College, which says that they are reviewing their policies and their contract with the Suffolk County Driving School.
Russell Cohen, you have one job, okay? And that's teach kids how to drive. The 2 most basic rules when it comes to driving is what? What's one of the most basic rules when it comes to driving, Envy?
Always pay attention.
Man, shut up. Angelique, what's one of the most basic rules when it comes to driving?
Keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. Those are basic, though. Y'all are right. But other than that, the 2 most basic rules when it comes to driving is wear a seatbelt and don't drink and drive. Okay, like those are the basics. All right,
So many basics.
That's what we say, always pay attention.
God.
I don't know.
All right, if you're trying to teach kids what not to do behind the wheel, those are the basics. All right, these kids had to convince this guy to pull into a McDonald's. That's how I know he was drunk, because don't nothing soak up liquor like McDonald's. All right, they had to promise this man a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle just so they could get to a location to escape. Now, Russell was arrested on aggravated DWI and endangering the welfare of children, and the only lesson he taught these kids was one they should already know, and that's highways can be highways. The choice is yours. All right, don't drink and drive, please. Give Russell Cohen the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. Ooh, you are the donkey of the day.
All right, well, thank you for that donkey of the day, Charlamagne.
Mm-hmm.
And Angela Yee?
Yes.
Seatbelt first, then pay attention, then put your hands on the steering wheel.
Those are all basics.
Yeah, all basics, right? All right, now, when we come back from Black Lightning, we have Cress Williams joining us. So we'll kick it with him when we come back. I know you guys love Black Lightning.
Yeah, Black Lightning actually premieres tonight. Season 2 premieres tonight on the CW.
That's right. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
Actor, singer, Cress Williams. Welcome,
hey,
sir.
What's up?
How's it going?
Oh, good, man. I'm good.
I want the record to show he almost went into superhero mode because you was coughing and your throat was like you was choking up a little, and he was like, Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Let me help the situation.
Yeah, let me just electrocute you real quick. Get it out.
How are you this morning, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm perpetually tired. That's just my state.
Oh, because you always working?
Always working.
Oh, man, I think that's a good feeling, though.
It is. I mean, it just is. Between being a family man and working, you're just going to be tired.
How many kids you got?
3.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All girls, boys?
I got a 13-year-old girl. I'm a little all over the place. I got a 13-year-old girl. I got a 2.5-year-old boy and a 4-month-old girl.
Oh, you started over.
I did.
It keeps you young, but you
It
get
does.
tired, but it keeps you young.
Yes.
I got 5. I got a 16, a 14, a 5'4", and a 2.
Oh my God, I'm hurt. I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I got the trifecta.
You got 3?
3 girls.
Yeah, I'm done. Ooh.
10-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 2-week-old.
Man.
Man. I was a hoe in a past life, sir.
That's
yes.
Wait till you get to the teenage years with girls.
I'm not in no rush.
Oh.
I'm not in no rush, buddy.
Oh, you're gonna be going through it, man.
Now let's talk about you as a superhero.
Yeah.
Now, how did you? Were you always into comics as a kid?
I was into cartoons and stuff because I couldn't afford comics. I couldn't afford anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always into cartoons and superheroes. Yeah. It was. And when they started making film and television out of them, I was like, I got to do this someday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm lucky, really blessed that it happened.
Did you know anything about the Black Lightning backstory?
I didn't. I was familiar with like Jon Stewart, Green Lantern,
Yes.
and that was really at the top of my list. But then once I read the script and then I started getting into the comics, it's so topical. Even the comics in the 70s, you read some of the 70s comics that they could be written today about problems today. So it's pretty cool.
So you had to cram crazy for Black Lightning, like.
I did after the fact. I mean, the first script was pretty clear. So, and I felt like I really, especially with his alter ego Jefferson Pierce, I really identified with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of went in and he's a family man, and I think the day of the audition, I had to like audition real quick and get back to my daughter's choir concert. So it's like I was kind of already the guy. After I got it, then they sent me all these comics, and I just started reading.
Were people testing you after the first episode, like? Because comic heads are serious about the ish.
Yes. Yeah. Issue 35. You were wearing a belt. Yeah. They're crazy. Yeah. But I mean, that's why I was like, I'm gonna read all of this because I know they're gonna test me, and I'm not trying to be like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with Black Lightning, and I'm a comic head. I'm a Marvel guy though.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wasn't familiar with Black Lightning.
Yeah. It's a cool. I mean, you should pick it up, man. Especially started from the 70s. It's a cool comic. I mean, when I think about it, I'm more of a DC guy anyway because Superman was always my man.
Trash.
Yeah, what?
Trash.
What? He's so powerful.
Superman is white supremacy in the flesh.
Oh,
That's what they
my
want you to
goodness.
think white supremacy is. That's what the S stands for.
I was
That's what it stands for.
Somebody brought it up yesterday, man. And I was like, what's Batman's superpower? White privilege.
That's
and I'm
it.
like, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Hey, a rich white man, a rich entitled white man. He's Donald Trump. If Donald Trump had a heart.
My goodness.
Now, you wanted to be an actor your whole life, right?
My whole life. I mean, ever since I was a little kid.
You went to theater.
I did. It was kind of like I was the first person in my family to go to college, and so I was like, I really wanted to do that and be the first and complete it. And then I was like, and I knew I wanted to be an actor, so I was like, I'll go this route and be a theater major and kind of do it the traditional way. So.
Now, did you get pushback on that because you mentioned that you grew up poor?
Yes.
So of course they want you to go to college. They want you to do something that you can get a job right out of college.
Right. Well, I mean, when people used to tell me when I was a kid, and they're like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I was like, "I want to be an actor." And before they said anything, I'm prepared to be poor, like because I just knew. Even at like 7 years old, I was like, I knew I wanted to do it, but at the same time, I knew that it was not, the safest thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, my parents. They just said, go ahead. Like, I think they just wanted me to love what I do, no matter what it was.
Now, explain your background for people that don't know. You were born in Germany.
I was born in Germany. My father was drafted Vietnam, and thankfully he didn't have to go to Vietnam.
Okay.
He wound up being stationed in Germany, in Heidelberg. And then, as the story goes, he called my mom and said, come to Germany, I want to make a baby. And so that's what happened.
So you're born in Germany, then you moved to Chicago.
Moved to Chicago. That's where my family's originally from.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents split up. And I moved to L.A. with my mother when I was 3. And then we started in L.A., and then when I was 7, moved to Orange County. And then when I was ready to go to college, I transferred over to UCLA and went back to L.A. and had been in L.A. Well, I'm in Atlanta now, but did the whole education thing and kind of had a fluid, transition from college right into acting.
Now, was your mom and dad married when he told her to come to Germany?
Yes. Yeah, they were married. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Yeah, back
You
then.
just don't call
Oh, you
somebody
can't
like,
do
"Come
that.
here, have a baby."
You can't
Hell
do
of a
that.
booty call.
Yeah,
Fly
I
out
was
to
saying, right?
Germany?
Come on.
So you were conceived in Germany?
I was, yeah.
Did you ever live there or just?
No, because as soon as I was born, we came right back. I got to get there. I've never been.
So you got
never
dual
been.
citizenship though, right?
That's what they say, and I might, need it if things keep going the way they're
Go a
going.
little crazy, man.
I'm gonna go to Germany.
Yeah, go.
I'm thinking, yeah.
How poor were y'all?
I mean, especially with my
poor.
like Poe.
Poe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Poe.
Can't even afford the OR.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Poe.
yeah, yeah,
Poe.
yeah.
But and my mother, she held it down. She was a working mom, and I was just kind of, I always say television was my babysitter. And I feel like I was meant to be an actor because she was like, hey, when you were a baby, she's like, if you cried, all we had to do was turn on television, and you were like transfixed. So I think I was meant to do it.
So it was the soaps that got you into wanting to be an actor? Or?
No, I mean, it was the movies, man. I mean, I watched tons of old movies and television. I couldn't even we didn't really go to the movies a lot, and we definitely didn't go see plays and nothing like that. But it was just like there was tons of old movies and television. I watched anything and everything. I mean, I was kind of left up to my own. I was an only child for most of my life, so I watched a ton of television.
So how'd you afford to go to college?
Scholarships and grants and loans. I paid all that stuff off. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
No
paid it
Sally
all.
Mae. All right.
Paid it all.
What kind of scholarships? You kind of tall. You little.
No, it wasn't that. It was
that.
It was well, mainly it wasn't until I got to like UCLA they gave me some grant money and some like acting like kind of scholarships. But for the most part, first of all, I started at junior college, and back then it was like $50 to go to college. So
you said back then $50.
Yeah, junior college was $50.
Where?
Like $50 a semester.
And they're bragging about student loans and you only owed $250.
No.
Paid off.
Paid it off.
It was only $200, man.
By the time, I was at UCLA for like 2 years, and I racked up like $12,000-$13,000.
Wow.
You look at college now? What college costs now?
I'm not looking at it right now.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it for my kids, and I'm like, that's why I'm out here working. Yeah.
Maybe I'm guesstimating your age wrong. How old are you, brother?
48.
I would have never guessed 48.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man.
I was thinking like 40, 38, 39.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is with the gray and the beard.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. Once I shave it all off. Yeah.
So was your dad in your life growing up, or?
He was kind of, not really. I mean, honest. Like I would see him occasionally because he was still in Chicago, and so I would take some summers and I'd go out and see him, and we had this kind of not really involved relationship for most of my life. But then I really reached out to him like probably a year before he passed, and just a couple years before he passed, and just said, "Look, man, this is not cool." And thankfully, he it took him about a year to do it, but he stepped up and called me out of the blue, and we just over the phone we had this just hashing everything out. He took like responsibility for not being there, and it lifted everything, right? Because we just had this cathartic moment, and then from that point on, he was my dog, and we had like a year where he was just like my best friend, and then unfortunately he passed away. But what was dope is that we healed it beforehand, because now all I think about is that year. I don't think about, I can retell the past of like, oh, he wasn't here for that. But my memory is when it was good.
I know that feeling. I got that this summer because I had some issues with my father, basically about how he, when he divorced my mom and moved on with another family.
Oh yeah. It's kind of like the same story.
And I mean, he was always there for me, but I had that conversation with him this summer. Like that was always on my heart and my mind. Like I felt the way about that.
Yeah.
So I understand that lifting feeling you probably.
Yeah,
had.
I mean, because it was always there, and I guess when I was growing up, I just didn't want to just bring it up like, yo, how come you ain't calling me? How come I don't, And then finally, I guess you reach a certain point of adulthood where, for me, it was just kind of like, okay, either I got to say this and this relationship's got to change, or I'm cool with it just not happening. Like it just being, I'm cool with just keeping it moving and not have a relationship. So I had to get to that place, and I just kind of put it all out there. And it took him a while, but he stepped up.
The crazy thing is, no matter how old you get, you still have that fear of your father.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a conversation, but it's not as easy as just picking up the phone like, hey man, Pop, what's up?
You want to be tough with it, but you can't.
Yeah. I mean, you just almost got to get to the point your back's against the wall, and it's just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So, but thankfully, we did it. We did it.
So when did you make the transition from the theater to like TV?
It was this weird, smooth transition. It was right into college, man. I had like 2 quarters left of school, and I was trying to figure out actually how I was going to pay for it. I went through my first year at UCLA, and like I said, they gave me some award money, and I spent all of it over the summer and didn't work a job. So the next quarter was about to start, and I was like, I didn't have enough money. I'm like, I only got 2 quarters left, and I may not even finish. And this connection that I had, like they called me out of the blue and said, hey, you got an audition. Come pick up the stuff tomorrow. And it wound up being this reoccurring on Beverly Hills 90210. And I went through like audition after audition after audition, and then they got me the job. They got me an agent. The very next audition that my agent actually sent me out on was Living Single, and then I got that job, and then I was just off and running.
You was on Living Single?
Yeah, man.
That was what?
Scooter, Khadijah's boyfriend. You remember that?
I do remember that guy. Wow. Wow, you been around, bro.
I've been
doing it for a while.
I've been doing it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 90, 93, 94.
What was your first gig? That was
Beverly Hills and
90210?
Beverly Hills 90210, and
Was
they
that
wind up airing around the same time, so they were technically like.
He was
So that had to be there. I don't remember. Now I used to watch 90210 though. So
For
this
real?
is with Tori
'Cause
Spelling.
I did not. Yeah.
This was Tori Spelling, Brian Austin Gray.
Yeah,
like, this is the
It was
original
the college
cast.
years. Yeah.
Okay.
Once I got to college.
I don't remember you on that.
I was Deshaun Hardell. I was like this college basketball player, and Brandon was supposed to tutor me, and I just was like, no, man, just take my
Stereotypes.
test.
You was the basketball player that needed help in education.
It was stereotype. Matter of fact, not even that. Like it was a stereotype where he was supposed to tutor me, and I was just like, man, just go take my test for me.
Oh, so you was a super black jock.
You was a super black jock.
Right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
So how'd the role of Black Lightning happen?
I saw that they were auditioning, and I wanted. It's been a top of my list to play a superhero, and thankfully,
Really?
yeah, I just like because
I would have never thunk it because as a kid we didn't see it.
We didn't thunk, my nigga.
I like thunk. You don't like thunk?
I've never heard you use that word in my life. We got a thespian in the room, and all of a sudden you want to say words like thunk?
I'm a thespian as
you
well.
can say thunk it.
Thunk it.
Thunk it.
Thunk it.
Yes, I've never thunk it.
What? Yes. No, I mean, it's just, like I said, I grew up watching these things, and they started making movies and television. The technology is now where you could see, like, the special effects. So I was like, man, I want to do this. And I auditioned for Luke Cage way back in the day. Didn't get it.
To play Luke?
Yeah.
I don't see you as a Luke Cage.
Yeah. Well, I thought it at the time, but now I'm happy that didn't happen because I'd rather play Black Lightning. But, yeah, I got the audition, and it actually happened pretty easy. Like, from what I was told, they were always thinking of me. So I auditioned, but shortly after that, they're like, oh, we want to test you. And then they made me wait for like a week because they were like, well, you're the guy, but we need to find some other choices. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the guy until you tell me I got the guy.
Right.
So about a week later, they told me, and we were off and running.
You get tired of auditioning?
I haven't done it. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done it in a minute. Like, when you're doing it a lot, yeah, you get in a rhythm, and yeah, you get tired because you just want a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? An audition is just one little snippet, and you want the job. But sometimes it can be, it can be fun. I mean, it ranges, man. There's times when you go into a room and they're really open. There's times when you go in a room. I mean, every person of color knows these times where you go into these auditions. I call them fake auditions, to be perfectly honest, because there's auditions where they say they're open to all ethnicities, but like the character's name is like Ira Schmidt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you go in there, and the moment you walk in, you could just see like them just like, yeah, you have no shot at this.
Damn.
Like, why am I here, man? Yeah.
Why do you think it's such a hunger for black superheroes now?
I think it's just, there's a hunger for diversity, and I think it's because of the dude we got in the White House. I think everybody, like, and things that are going on in the world, I always look at it like we thought, I always kind of liken it to roaches. And we thought, prior to this, we thought that we had, like, squashed a lot of roaches. And then with him coming in, and it kind of turned on the lights, and we looked around, and we're like,
Roaches everywhere.
whoa, we got a lot more roaches than we thought. And so I think that made artists rise up and want to, like, swing the pendulum the other way, and so we're getting a lot more diversity.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about this weekend. We have to make sure that we're not reacting to them the way they reacted to Obama. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of irrational. I'm not gonna say irrational, but there was a lot of the way we're acting towards Trump is the way their side was acting towards Obama.
Right. Well, yeah, and I think it's always got to be rooted in action. You know what I mean? And I don't like getting back and forth with the name calling and or just the generalization of like like Republican Democrat, because I don't, people shouldn't presume to think that the Democratic Party is just full of angels and people who have your best interest at heart. Like it can't be that like bad, evil, racist people are only Republicans. Like it's on both sides.
I mean, the '94 crime bill came from Democrats.
Right. You got to call it. You got to call it.
Black president, as they like to say, Mr. Clinton.
Yeah. Right. Well, and historically, back in the day, the Republican Party actually was like it was flipped back in like way before any of us were here. It was flipped. Like the Republican Party was a party of the people, and it was just different. Now it's a different thing, but I think we just got to call action to action. So you see something that's wrong, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican. Wrong is wrong. If you see something that's right, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. Right is right.
That's it.
And so, I mean, Trump, his actions are very clear. Like I personally don't think I'm reacting like they did to Obama. I'm just looking at what the man's actions.
We know something is wrong.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. You were just upset at Obama because of the color of his skin.
Oh, they were upset from the moment he came into office. It's like, oh, we got to stop this.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's going on around is bananas.
Now, how is that being a father? Because you got 3 kids, and how are you raising the kids?
I mean, I'm just trying to make them, the best people they can possibly be. Like, it doesn't necessarily change how I raise them, but it does change. Like, I don't know. I have these thoughts, in the car. We're looking at the way the world is. And I'm like, was it responsible that I'm bringing kids into this right now? Because I mean, my wife and I, we have this little phrase at times. You just see something that's happening, and I'm just like, you know what? I want to get off. Can we stop the train? Because I want to get off.
I want to get off the stop.
I want to get off this. I want to, like I just want out all this. And it's like you almost have that feeling weekly. So it's a frightening thought. We were working on Friday night, and people in the trailer, we were talking about like, is there going to be a time when we're going to have to just pack up and leave America? And everybody was kind of having that, like, where would you go? Where are you going to go? Oh, people are like, I might go to Canada. And I'm like, man, I need to find an island somewhere.
Anguilla, baby.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a crazy. So to have kids and to be in this situation, it's frightening. But you just try to raise your kids the best, that you can.
Are your kids biracial?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a white wife?
Yeah, Italian.
Italian?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Italian.
How was that going into an Italian home at first?
It was scary. It was scary. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
You think mob all day. That's what you thought all day.
Well, I just thought, like, I mean, I know she had a big Italian family. I'm like, okay, one of y'all got to be racist. Like, one of y'all got to. I would look, and just by pure numbers, I'm like, one of y'all got to hate me. One of y'all, even just meeting her parents. I mean, I think it's just like, I grew up primarily in California, in Southern California, and I'm always cautious. So the minute I leave my neighborhood, I'm expecting trouble.
Right.
The minute I leave Southern California, that's just to me the safest way. I remember taking a road trip, from coast to coast. And I was like, the minute I leave California, I'm expecting everybody to be racist and everybody to hate me. That's just the safest way. And then if they don't, I'm pleasantly surprised, and that's great. But if I'm just going, everybody loves me, and then I get smacked with some racism, that's not cool. So I was scared. I was worried, and thankfully they squashed all that. And like my in-laws are amazing.
How was your family? Because I know that back in those days, Mama only wanted to see a black woman with a black man. So how was your mama when you brought her home?
My mom was cool, but I mean, I guess I got it from her. My mother, like growing up watching, like I said, my parents divorced when I was a baby, so I don't have memories of them being married. So my mother was single. She never remarried, but she was dating, and my mother just dated. She dated everyone, and so I guess I grew up watching like all races coming through the house. So she can't, she's mad. It's on her.
No, gotcha.
As a black superhero, are you aware that white women are a black man's kryptonite?
What?
That's dope. I am aware of that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what does Black Lightning and the characters in it mean to you?
Just like black excellence, man. I mean, the thing that I'm struck with and I'm really proud of is that Jefferson Pierce, the alter ego, is like, he's a heroic person, even if he doesn't have powers. I mean, he's like, him and his wife are divorced, but he has custody of his daughters. He's raising his daughters. He's a principal and a teacher, like community leader. So it's like all these things, and I still haven't really come up with any other superhero, black or otherwise, whose alter ego is that heroic without powers.
Black Panther. Because T'Challa
Oh,
is
yeah,
a king.
well, he's a king.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but most of the time, like, you know, you said garbage to Superman. I mean, he was just a reporter. There's nothing like heroic about that. You know, Batman is just a rich playboy. Like,
Stupidest shit in the world.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I hate about Superman now that you say about it more?
Oh, my
you know how we
God.
always say white people, they always say black people look alike?
Yeah.
White people look so much alike that Superman could just throw some glasses on. And that's his alter ego.
I didn't even think about that.
You know, man?
Well, I got people always
been
going like,
breaking
oh,
it down.
man, how can people, you know, you got them goggles on. They know it's you. And I'm like, look, Superman, Clark Kent, like, I got enough said. If you accepted that all these years, then you got to let me do my thing.
Y'all know this is not real. Like it's fake. That people write it's like real. Like y'all act like it's real. Like nah.
Yeah, but I see
in issue 35.
Issue 35.
Why is it important to have like black superheroes in this political climate, especially with the messages that are in Black Lightning?
Well, it's just that. I mean, you know, when I got the role, I almost went back to being a kid because the first thing I thought of was myself as a kid. I was like, man, when this show was going to be on, I would circle the calendar. I would be like so hyped that this show was on. And, you know, we never had, I remember Salim, the creator of the show, he was talking about he was a Batman fan growing up as a kid. But like when he went off to get the Halloween costume, it's like, you know, you got those cheapo masks with the rubber band around and it would always break, like, and you just have to like hold it up. He's like, the Batman mask had like a mask, but like then the face was white.
White, yeah.
And he just had to and he would talk about like putting gloves on to cover his skin so he could like play this hero. Well, that alone is ridiculous that we didn't have a superhero that we could like emulate, you know? And so for our kids, like to have a black superhero, not just one, but like multiple black superheroes.
Yeah.
On Black Lightning, you know, my daughters are also superheroes, so it's like we have black female superheroes. I mean, this is going to be like our kids, this is going to be their normal. They're going to, you know, I took my daughter, I'm playing Black Lightning. We went to go see Black Panther, and I'm sitting right next to her and seeing all these black women who are just like the foundation of the film. Weeks later, I take her to go see A Wrinkle in Time, and the girl and her are like, you know, so much alike. And it's like, this is going to be their normal. And what is that going to do for their self-esteem, for their confidence?
Absolutely.
Just their identity moving forward that we didn't have. We had to overcome that. But this is just going to be like, yeah, no. You know, the television and film is supposed to reflect what we look at in the world. If you look at in the world, I mean, the world is a lot more mixed than you know, it's not white and then like black, like minority. I mean, if you go to, like, when I go to my kid's school, it's just a sea of brown. It's all these different shades. Television and film is starting to look like what the actual world looks like.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm just excited. Like, I wish I could just like blink and get to like 20 years down the line and see what their self-esteem is like.
Absolutely.
We need more of that, though. We need more family-friendly films like that, though. Because what you said makes a lot of sense. I remember I took my daughter to see Black Panther, and then I went to the Wrinkle in Time premiere in L.A.
Yeah.
So it's like she saw those back-to-back representations. Yeah, and then that night she met Oprah and Ava DuVernay. So that's a whole nother level of superhero
There you go.
That's another
representation.
level.
Yeah.
I haven't met Oprah yet.
Really?
No, not yet.
I only met her once. They don't need for me to brag about it.
We still haven't seen the picture, but
I did post the picture. I will say this too. I can tell why you look so good at 48 because you looked at your watch and I'm like, damn, we boring him that much. But then you said, nope, I got a protein shake to drink.
Right.
Like, yeah. So you do that every day like clockwork?
I do. Yeah. I got to eat like a regiment. I eat about 4 to 5 meals a day. I try to put something in my body every 3 hours. 6 days a week, I eat like mainly just vegetables and protein. And then Saturday at my house is cheat day, and we get it in on Saturday.
Whatever you want.
All day,
Italian,
whatever you
so
want.
it's
You start.
pasta,
It's everything. Sometimes breakfast is ice cream. Like I'm serious. It's every day.
Y'all wildin'.
I mean, it's everything all day.
Wouldn't that be gelato? Ain't gelato Italian?
I don't know.
It would be. It would be.
So you don't like breakfast? You like to do protein shakes? I do the same thing. I do protein shakes in the morning.
It depends. If I got to get out like right away, then I know I can just do a shake. If I have time, then I'll make an omelet. I usually make some sort of omelet.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, man.
Man, thanks for having me.
Cress Williams, Black Lightning. Make sure you check it out. And we thank you for sharing so much this morning, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Cress Williams, DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to these rumors. Let's talk Odell.
It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
All right, now Odell Beckham. That's your guy, right, Envy?
Yes.
Odell Beckham Jr. Well, he gave an interview where he talked about Eli Manning and basically kind of blamed him for certain things that were going on this season. How's your record for the Giants so far?
We're in third place.
1-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's what Odell Beckham Jr. had to say.
He's not going to get out the pocket. He's not. We know Eli's not running. Is it a matter of time issue? Can he still throw it? Yeah, it's been pretty safe. It's been, cool catching a shallow and trying to take it to the house, but I want to go over the top of somebody. I feel like I'm being out schemed, and then I also don't have a chance to do something, or I got to take a slant and go 60. And not to say it's not fun, but it's like I want some easy touchdowns too. I watch everybody across the league, all the top receivers get the ball the way that they should, and if they don't, they say something about it.
I mean, he may be correct.
He's correct.
It just sounds crazy for a guy that's never won nothing to be critiquing a two-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, no, he's correct.
Well, he didn't backpedal. He didn't backpedal after this last game on Sunday. And here's what he had to say about these statements, because he's not taking it back and he doesn't regret saying that. It actually brought the team closer together.
I don't regret anything that I said. If it took that for us to come together as a team like we did today, I could take that every single time. It had been on my heart, and I think all the stuff that was built up inside, it just it came out in the wrong way. And I texted him and I asked if I could have a minute just to talk to the team. If we're not all on the same page, if it's not authentic and real, and we can all understand each other, then there's going to always be miscommunication.
Yeah, I'm not mad at what he said. I just don't understand why he had to say it publicly. It's a football team. Like, why don't y'all got locker rooms and stuff for that? Like, it's not like Eli Manning was out there bashing him publicly.
I'm sure he probably did say it in the locker room, and nothing probably changed.
He probably was very frustrated.
I'm definitely sure he said it.
I just don't. When it comes to team sports, I think it should be kept inside the
Well, Eli Manning said he hasn't heard anything, and he said, Odell and I have a great relationship. Our mindset will be everybody stay focused on beating Philadelphia. So that was his comment after that. All right, Cat Williams, what happened that he got arrested?
He's Cat Williams.
Now, we told you he got arrested for allegedly assaulting his driver, but he's still in jail in Portland. And apparently he was supposed to be in court. He had a scheduled court date, but instead the people around him didn't tell him about the scheduled court date because they wanted him to get some shine at the Emmys. His management team didn't tell him that he was due in court in Atlanta at the same time that he was going to LA to attend the Emmys. So I guess he had a warrant out as well. So a lot of different issues going on here.
And this is why it doesn't matter how funny you are, how much talent you have. If you're always a liability, if you're a career liability, this is why you don't get to the next level.
Yeah, Cat Williams, on his behalf, he would have went to court and took care of that business instead of going to the award show if he had to. All right.
He still assaulted the driver, though.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, and that's how we found out about the warrant when he got arrested. He's got a lot going on.
He's still a liability regardless.
All right, now let's discuss Jonah Hill. It looks like he might have some type of deal with Adidas. I don't know if you guys saw his post, but he posted a picture in these Adidas, and he said, something fun coming from me and Adidas. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, if he has his own Adidas launching, or if he's going to be endorsing them, or just has a project coming with them. But he posted another picture, said, got my new reading in the bathroom waiting to take a bath. And then he put at Adidas Originals, hooked it up. So maybe he's doing something. All right, and Antonio Brown. This story, if you guys do have kids, so this will affect you, I'm sure. Now, he's being sued. Allegedly, what happened is he was in a violent rage back in April, and he was throwing furniture off the balcony of his 14th-story apartment building. Well, according to Ophir Sternberg, who is suing Antonio Brown, some of those items almost hit and killed his 22-month-old son who was walking around the pool at the apartment complex. That's when they said large objects started to fall from the building many floors above them, including 2 very large vases, an ottoman, and other pieces of furniture, which actually landed right near the toddler and his grandfather. So right now they are suing, saying that they caused extensive damage, and the child was terrified and traumatized by that incident and has had night terrors as well. He's suing for assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and saying that Antonio Brown acted without regard for human life. If this is true, by the way, y'all can't be throwing furniture off out of a window in a complex where people are walking around below you.
Yeah, I don't throw nothing out of a window where people may be walking down below you. If you're like in a city or someplace where people could be by the pool or something, you don't do that.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't do that, period. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Revolt, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody else, the People's Choice Mix is up next. Get your request in right now, 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.